What's up, community? Jason here. Welcome to From Heroes to Icons. We have another episode of On the Run. It's been quite a while since we've done it. This time we're doing a series that is a little bit different. I wouldn't call it a encyclopedia, but it's the closest thing that we can get to all of the stats and everything that has to do with Marvel. This series is called the Marvel Universe. There have been various different volumes of this. And I do have some of them. I don't have all of them. Of the series that I do have all the complete volumes of it, I guess, or issues, whatever, what have you. But Series 1, the official handbook of the Marvel Universe, was first published between 1982 and 1984. This was 14 issues. The first 12 issues catalog the heroes and villains in alphabetical order in the Marvel Universe. Issues 13 and 14 were the Book of the Dead, and there was a 15th book, and that was Weapons, Hardware, and Paraphernalia. And the second volume, which was called the Official Handbook of the Marvel Universe Deluxe Edition, the weapons, paraphernalia, etc., would be integrated with whatever character it was associated with. And all of these issues had wraparound covers. In the deluxe edition, the wraparound covers were actually a gigantic connecting cover, which was pretty dope. The series was originally put together by Jim Shooter and Mark Grunwald. The first series only had a picture of the character with all the stats pretty much on the same page. Many of the characters actually only got a half a page. The stats that were inside of these volumes, it was a real name, identity, occupation, legal status, alias, marital status, group affiliation, place of birth, known relatives, base of operations, and would you believe the first appearances were actually cataloged in the Marvel Universe. Then you had, which is the bulk of the information, was their origin. Then we had a few more stats, height, weight, etc. And then some of them you had unusual features, powers, weapons, and lastly were the powers were actually put last on this. And usually the characters were illustrated by the artist that was associated with them at that time. For the first volume, someone that you might know, Dave Crockman, Bill Sienkiewicz, Mike Zeck, John Byrne, etc. And many of these artists didn't redo the art in the second volume. They just used the same picture or whatever. And in the back of every one of these, there was an appendix of the alien races, which I believe in the deluxe edition, the alien races were like in the last volume by themselves. This is issue number 2. Everybody written and Raven. It's Captain Universe right there. Issue number 3, and all of these were in alphabetical order, and it wasn't every single character, but most of the most popular characters and villains that were being used at the time. When I crack this one open and show you real quick how this went. These books, personally speaking, quite amazing. There, wraparound cover. I don't know who did the covers for these, but they're pretty good. The deluxe edition, I believe John Byrne did most of the wraparound covers for those. Issue number 5. Issue number 6. Issue number 7. Issue number 8. Ended up with 2 of those. Issue number 9. It's wrong. Issue number 10. Spidey and the Surfer. Issue 11. Thing and Thor always end up with each other, of course. Issue number 12. Issue number 13, The Book of the Dead. I guess this would be kind of irrelevant now. The way people come back to life so quickly. Book of the Dead, number 2. Issue 14. And as we can see, many that are on here are yet alive right now. And issue 15, Weapons and Memorabilia. This is John Byrne did this cover here. It's pretty dope. And this highlights all the weapons and tech and Wolverine's bones and stuff like that. Pretty awesome cover there. John Byrne, of course. And since Shang-Chi is coming out soon, and I know it's going to be much different, that's what the 10 rings of the Mandarin look like instead of the bands wrapped around his wrist. They're actually rings. It's pretty dope. Wolverine skeleton, which is pretty dope. That was the first series. It was a little lackluster compared to the quality that we're used to now, but still some dope books to have. If you're interested in all about the Marvel Universe, definitely a must-have. And then we have the deluxe edition. The official handbook of the Marvel Universe Deluxe Edition was published between 1985 and 1988. This was 20 issues in the series, and issues 16 through 20 were the Book of the Dead or the Inactive. This volume was also contained into trade paperbacks, which I do have a few of those, and recently into an omnibus, which I don't even know how you would look through something that gigantic. The wraparound covers that connected issues 1 through 15. The front of issue 15 connected to the back issue of number 1, which is pretty dope. All the stats were the same. In addition, there was made a few things. They added strength level, the highest of these, which was considered the class 100, and anybody in that was able to lift press in excess of 100 tons. The Hulk, Thor, and the Silver Surfer are among those in the class 100. Powers are now known as superpowers, and the weapons, paraphernalia, hardware, etc. are now with the characters associated with them. To me, personally, this is the best edition of the series. Let me show you some of these. Got a few doubles. Nothing ever wrong with that. Issue number 2. 2 of those. Issue number 3. And same as with the first volume, the deluxe edition, all the characters were also drawn by the artists associated with them at this time. I believe John Byrne did most of Alpha Flight. Fantastic Four. Some they had groupings of the teams together. I believe he did Fantastic Four, the Avengers, and the X-Men, which is kind of cool. Where is? I think I'll show that later on. It was pretty dope. And it's number 5 there. I believe I'll open number 5. Excuse that. That is the most hated resealable cover right there. And I won't show you that wraparound. It's kind of weak, actually. And these are pretty dope. That's Hawkeye there. Pretty dope. And a big difference between this and the original one, as the original only had like 1 page per person, but say Hawkeye is here on this page with his history and everything like that. On the next page, they had all his stats, his strength, and all of that. Extra pictures of him in action, his bows, and all of his trick arrows. It's pretty dope. Had all that put together. And yeah, Byrne did some amazing illustrations for this. Hercules, this looks amazing. Super brawlic, super heroic. Then you got him some scenes from the Avengers, from the Hulk. Super dope. I don't even know I'm manhandling this book so much. And John Byrne's Incredible Hulk. Looks very much like their Immortal Hulk now. It's crazy. And it was just so awesome how this was illustrated. This book is mint. I'm gonna make sure. Then they had the Hulk Busters. Real nice. This series is fresh. Prepare your ears again. Y'all gotta excuse the noise from the chair and all of that. Issue number 6. And Iron Man's index in here was pretty dope. They actually showed yellow and gold armor in the new one. And I think they had a spot where they showed all the armors. It was pretty dope. Issue number 7. Ended up with 2 of those. That one's a beater. Issue number 8. 2 of those. One of my favorite issues. Issue number 9. That was fresh. Issue number 10. 11. 12, which I have 2 of. Spidey the Surfer, Squadron Supreme, Toro. This is dope. I'm going to show you some stuff in here also. And we get the red and blue suit and the symbiote. First one here is Sif. This is from the late 80s, obviously. This illustration is done by Walter Simonson. And he also did Battery Bill and Thor and Odin also. Let me see how we get so much more information. Not only in her abilities and such, but the pictures that they give. Really cool stuff. my favorites. Of course. And he got 3 pages. It is none other than Norrin Rad, the Silver Surfer. Super dope. And you can never go wrong with these newsprint comics. Beautiful. Right there. Sidney that just came back last year. Not the same guy. There we go. Right there. You got Spider-Man in the red and blue and in the symbiote. Looking super dope. I remember copying these back in the days. And also get all his gadgets. His camera, his web shooters. I don't know if they highlight his belt thing. Look at the Spider-Woman there. The spiral. Some more John Byrne action. Namor. Book is dope. And even though the status of the Marvel Universe changes so much, I still go back to these. And this is how I declare who's who. Number 13. $14, $15. This is like the last one of the regular. I got 2 of those. First Book of the Dead. Seems like the only character that has stayed dead that actually should have come back. Number 16. Ended up reducing that. 17. It's Agatha Harkness. You see Drax the Destroyer is back. It's the clone Hyperion that got killed. 18, 19, and the Red Skull has come back 1,000,000 times. And 20. And we know Adam Warlock is currently alive and kicking. And like I said before, also had some trades of this. Kind of beat. But excellent to read from. Even though they kind of damaged. Everything can't be mint, right? And this is where they got the format, I think, for one of the newest Marvel universes that had all the characters on the front coming at you like that. Two more. This one. And I think these trade paperbacks contain 2 issues each. And that was like the last issue in the first Book of the Dead right there. In 1989, the official Handbook of the Marvel Universe received an update, and it was called the Official Handbook of the Marvel Universe Update 89. And this only had 8 issues. It was in the same format as the deluxe edition. This format gave updates on the characters previously not listed, like Venom, the White Vision, Archangel. This truly is the best foundation for anybody that is interested in the Marvel Universe. Also, in 1990 through 1993, the official Handbook of the Marvel Universe had a Master Edition that was released, and this was made to fit in loose leaf binders. I got rid of all of mine, And in the early 2000s, a new version also was created. And I had those, but I sold all of them. Personally, to me, the deluxe edition is still the best there is. And the updated version, they had everybody facing you, although it was a wraparound cover. It was pretty dope. And as always, the artists associated with it, think Box in here was drawn by Jim Lee, which was pretty dope. Some of his early illustrations. Really should have did it for the 90s when all the artwork was really, really popping. But you can't win them all, right? Look at that. Boom! Even back then, he was a beast with it. That's the cover there. Little plain. There you have it. The picture box is fire. But before Wikipedia and the internet and all of that, we had these. Definitely the best place to have all the information that you needed for all of your favorite superheroes. And the way they retcon things now, it's not too reliable, but definitely a great foundation for any lover of the Marvel Universe to find out actually where these characters came from and just how powerful they are or were, depending on the retconning of the situation. But what you're gonna do? It's the prerogative of the writers. Number 7. And in this edition, there was a lot of the more obscure characters that a lot of people, they just didn't take. And of course, 2 of the more popular cats from that time. Well, 3 now. The U.S. Agent, White Vision, and Venom. And Venom, I believe, was drawn by Eric Larson in this. Give y'all a little taste of the inside. And Ben Urich was no doubt still alive. Venom got 3 pages in that. Eric Larson did the initial drawing of him. You got Spider-Man here. Everybody loves that. You know, Eddie Brock. And it says here that Venom, if anybody was wondering, Venom could lift press 11 tons. You got everybody's WandaVision favorite, the White Vision. Mary Jane Watson by Eric Larson. He loved that poofy hair, don't he? It's pretty dope. And that's the full cover for number 8. And I will leave you with that. Thank you for watching. It was a very long video, much longer than I wanted it to be, but it is what it is. Welcome to the Marvel Universe. And as always, be great and do great. Peace.